All right, today we're going to take a little trip through India, but probably not in the way you're thinking. We're going to see how three, really simple things, bread, coffee, and tea, can actually tell us so much about a country's incredibly rich and diverse culture.
So let me ask you this. Can your morning coffee or just a simple loaf of bread really tell a story? Well, we think it absolutely can. Let's dive in and see how these everyday staples reveal these amazing tales of history, tradition, and even some pretty wild legends.
Okay, first up, we're heading to Goa. Now, when you think of Goa, you might think of beaches, right? But the legacy of the Portuguese here isn't just in the old buildings, it's literally baked into daily life, and it's all thanks to the village baker.
At the very heart of this tradition is the pader. That's the traditional Goan baker. And these folks aren't just making bread. No, they're like living, breathing links to the region's colonial past. Their daily routine is basically the heartbeat of the village.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the bowl. It perfectly shows just how important the patter is. In Goa, bread isn't just food. It's a non-negotiable part of every celebration. Without it, a party just isn't a party. Just try to picture this for a second. The potter shows up, and you know he's coming not because of a bell, but from the jingle of his bamboo staff. He's wearing this traditional one-piece outfit called a kabai, bringing fresh loaves for the grown-ups and these special bread bangles for the kids. I mean, what a great memory. They were a totally essential part of life. And get this wasn't just some quaint tradition. It was a really good business. Bakers and their families were well off, and their jackfruit-like physique was actually seen as a sign of just how successful they were. They were literally living large. Okay, so from the sunny coast of Goa, we're now traveling up into the misty hills of Coorg in Karnataka. And the story here isn't about bread. It's about coffee and a community known for being incredibly independent and, well, pretty fierce. The people of Coorg, also known as Kodagu, have this reputation for being fiercely independent and really brave. But where did this unique culture even come from? The answer, it turns out, is wrapped up in some really fascinating theories.
So, what's the origin story? Well, there are two main ideas. One theory suggests they're actually descendants of Alexander the Great's army, a part of his army that settled down here when they just couldn't make it back home. But then, there's another theory that points to an Arabic origin, mostly because of their traditional coat, the kufiya, which looks a lot like the kufiya worn by Arabs and Kurds. How cool is that?
Now, Coorg itself is just wow. It's a total paradise. Even though it's the smallest district in Karnataka, it is packed with evergreen forests and these massive coffee and spice plantations. If you go between September and March, the air is just thick with the smell of coffee. Plus, it's a huge hotspot for adventure sports. And remember that fierce independence we talked about? Well, that spirit translates directly into their military skill. The Kurg Regiment is one of the most decorated in the entire Indian Army, which is just a huge testament to their bravery. And their military legacy goes right to the very top. The first ever chief of the Indian Army, General Karyappa, was a Korji. That's an incredible source of pride and really shows you everything you need to know about their martial heritage. For our final stop, let's head way out to the northeast, to Assam, a place that is pretty much synonymous with tea. It's here, among these endless green fields, that we're going to uncover the legends behind the world's favorite drink, besides water, of course. Just to give you an idea of how massive tea is, think about this number, over 800 million. That's how many cups of tea are drunk every single day around the world. It's insane. And the origin story for this global obsession is just steeped in legend. So there are two really famous stories. The Chinese legend says an emperor discovered tea completely by accident when some leaves just blew into his pot of boiling water. The Indian legend is, well, a bit more dramatic. It says a Buddhist monk named Bodhidharma cut off his own eyelids to stay awake during meditation, and from those eyelids, 10 tea plants sprouted up. Pretty wild, right? Now for the actual history. Tea's journey really started in China, way back in 2700 BC. Even our words chai and chini come from Chinese. When it finally got to Europe in the 16th century, people thought of it more as a medicine than the cozy drink we know and love today. And that brings us right back to Assam, which is home to the largest concentration of tea plantations on the entire planet. It's especially famous for its second flush tea, which all the tea lovers out there will know is considered the absolute best quality you can get. So what did we learn from this journey through bread, bravery, and beverages?
Well, for me, it's that one single country can hold so many different, rich, and totally distinct cultural stories all at once. This table really pulls it all together. You've got Goa, where bread is all about Portuguese history and community. Then there's Korg, where coffee is tied to this incredible martial tradition. And finally, Assam, where tea connects ancient legends to a massive global industry. 3 places, 3 products, 3 totally unique and powerful stories.
This little tour of India just reminds us that culture is all around us, woven into our everyday lives, in the food we eat, the things we drink, and the stories we tell. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What unique glimpse of culture does your own hometown have to offer?